Hello everyone. I know you are watching this video means your curiosity for psychology has not diminished even in difficult times. You have a lot of options. You could watch comedy videos, viral videos, but you are here to learn something. I know psychology keeps you excited, and this is the similarity between you and me. Today we will talk about a topic that you must have read, but we considering them as a basic theory and we do not read attentively. But the history of entrance examinations tells that we should study this theory carefully because in almost every entrance examinations you can find one question. Means if you will be aware about today's theory, then you can solve a question with confidence. You must be thinking that only one question will be there in exams, then why we are giving so much importance to this theory? But we need to understand in entrance exams, right, generally there will be only one question from any theories, one question from one theory. And this theory is important because questions will be there in almost all entrances. And keep in mind one thing, sometimes only one correct answer make you successful. So today we will talk about object permanence. What is object permanence? What is the meaning of object permanence? How many stages are there? And I will also present one question that I found last year in an entrance exams. Hopefully you will definitely get some new information. So let's begin. Swiss psychologist Jean Piaget was interested in how thinking develops in children from birth to young adulthood. To understand the nature of this development, Piaget carefully observed the behavior of his own three kids. Piaget believed that humans adapt to their physical and social environments in which they live, and the process of adaptation begins from birth. We all know there are four stages of Piaget cognitive development: sensory motor, birth to 2 years, pre-operational 2 to 7 years, concrete operational 7 to 11 years, and formal operational 11 to adulthood. In this video, we will not discuss all these stages because video will be too lengthy. And today's topic is also object permanence, right? If you want explanation, right, of this particular topic, if you want explanatory video on stages, then let me know in chat box or mention in comment box, right? So I will try to make a video on that particular topic, right? Before moving, I want to mention basic element in development according to the Piaget. So before going to explain object permanence, I want to explain basic elements in development that Piaget suggests us or Piaget explained to us. According to Piaget, there are four basic elements in development. Number one, maturation. Second, experience. Third, social transmission means learning through language, schooling, and parents. And fourth is equilibrium, right? I'm repeating all these elements. First, maturation. Second, experience. Third, social transmission means learning through schooling, language, parents. And fourth, equilibrium, right? Now, first of all, we can discuss how to explain object permanence. So, object permanence means knowing that an object still exists even it is hidden. That means if something is not visible, then also that exists. This understanding is object permanence, right? That means before developing the concept of object permanence, when an object is hidden or not visible, infant become upset that the item is lost. This happens just because they are too young to understand that the object continues to exist even though it cannot be visible. After developing object permanence, if someone or if something is not visible, right, to the child, to the infant, then also they are aware that object exists. Like we can take an example, like toys, khilone is not visible, but child understand that toys exist and after some time they will be visible. So object permanence helps children to develop various abilities like memory development, exploration, pretend play, language acquisition. So we can say object permanence helps children to develop various cognitive abilities, right, that I mentioned: language acquisition, pretend play, memory development, exploration, right? And we can divide stages of object permanence into 6 parts. There are 6 stages. Number 1, reflexive activity. Second stage is self-investigation. Stage 3, coordination and reaching out. Stage 4, goal-directed behavior. Stage 5, experimentation. Stage 6, problem solving and mental combinations. So all these are stages of object permanence, and in all these stages child develop different kind of ability. So we will explain, or we will try to understand, right, all these stages one by one, right? So first of all we will talk about reflexive activity, right? That will begin from birth to 1 month. Right? So first stage of object permanence is reflexive activity. That will be from birth to 1 month. In reflexive activity stage, reflexes like rooting, sucking and startling. So all these reflexes are primary way that infant use to understand and explore the world. That means in stage 1, that is reflexive activity. In this particular stage, child use reflexes to understand their surrounding, understand their environment. They are not even aware of object that they have disappeared from sight. So something is disappeared, right? So they will be able to think about that particular object. So if something disappeared, that means they are not aware about that particular object. So if anything is visible to the child, that's fine, and if something disappeared, then they will not even think about that particular object. So if something is visible, that's fine, that is there, and if something disappeared, then even they don't think about that particular object, right? And second stage is primary circular reaction. That will be from 1 month to 4 months. And during this stage, the infant begin to display a class of behaviors known as circular reaction. That's why we call them primary circular reaction, right? And circular reaction are the action that are repeated by infant, right? Repeated by the baby himself, because the action is pleasurable. So if they will find anything pleasurable, they will try to repeat them again and again, right? They will repeat them. We call them circular reactions. Like we can take an example. Infant might accidentally suck their thumb and they realize that it's pleasurable. So they repeat this action because it's pleasurable. So in second stage, we can find circular reaction first time in children. So second stage is primary circular reaction. And the third stage is secondary circular reactions. That will be from 4 months to 8 months. This particular stage, secondary circular reaction, is different from primary circular reaction. And in third stage, infants are no longer centered on self-body. And infant reaches out to manipulate objects discovered in the environment. So now in this particular stage, they are not, centered, right, on self-body, and they explore the things, right, in the environment. And we can say during this time, during this period, this stage, a number of coordinations occur. Number of coordination you can find in children that serve to integrate previously isolated behavior. For example, right, if you are facing difficulties to understand, so I can use one example, right? So for example, an infant will shake a rattle, right, in order to hear it. Or we can say they will reach for a ball in order to grasp it. So now you can find that they are interested in those objects that is in environment. They are not centered on self. So they can tap to hear sound. They will try to reach ball to grasp them. So these kind of action we can find in stage 3, that is secondary circular reaction. And stage 4 is coordination of secondary circular reaction. This is coordination of. Stage 3 was secondary circular reactions, and stage 4 is coordination of secondary circular reaction. That will be from 8 months to 12 months. And in this stage, right, for the first time, children begin to display purposeful sequential behavior to achieve a desired goal. At this stage, infants' behavior become goal directed. So they will try to reach for an object, right, or they will try to find hidden object, right? If something is hidden, so they will try to find hidden object. That indicating they have showing early phase of object permanence, right? So this is a coordination of secondary circular reaction. So now you can find, right, a certain purpose, right? They will display purpose very clearly, right? So if something is hidden, they will try to find them. If something is not visible, right, they will try to see that particular object, right? This is showing that they are presenting early phase of object permanence. And fifth stage is tertiary circular reaction. That will be from 12 months to 18 months. In this particular stage, toddlers become creative, right, and experiment will be the new behaviors, right? They will experiment with the things, with the object. They try variations of their original behavior rather than repeating the same behaviors. Now you can see child doing different kind of behavior with the similar objects. They are not repeating the behavior. They are presenting different kind of behavior, right? They are using certain object in different way, right? So they are not repeating the behavior, right? They are presenting variations in their behavior, right? For an example, we can take an example. As an example of tertiary circular reaction, consider a toddler sitting on their high chair, right, and having food. So they are sitting on height and they are having food. Suddenly they drop a stuff like they drop a spoon, right, from the height. Then they do it again. But second time with more force, with more energy. So they did the same thing, like they dropped a spoon 2 times, but first time they just dropped, but in second time they dropped with force, with energy. So they learned 2 things. In first condition, now they are aware that if they drop something, they will fall down, they will not go up. And in second example, or in second condition, they understood that force of the throw can create more sound. That means they are dropping a spoon twice, but in first condition they just dropped, but in second condition they dropped with force, and they understood 2 different things. So in fifth stage, child began to experiment to see their different action producing different result. So on the basis of experiment, right, they try to see how different action producing different result, right? And we can say trial and error action also began in this particular stage. And stage 6 is problem solving and mental combination, right? That will be begin from 18 months, right, and will end at 24 months. True problem solving emerges at this stage, right, where toddler can mentally consider solution to problem before taking action. So before taking action, they can think about solution, right? And this is the first stage in which toddler presenting this particular kind of ability. A more advanced concept of object permanence will develop in this stage, which indicate that they are leaving the period of sensory motor development and moving toward the pre-operational period of thinking. During this stage, problem solving can be accomplished by mental combination of various things like sign, symbol, images. So we can say the child no longer need to depend on physical exploration and manipulation, right, of the environment. Now child will able to solve the problem by using sign, symbol, images, etc. So the child fully understand, right, in this particular stage, child is now fully understand the concept of object permanence. And now they have concept that if something is hidden, then also the object exists. If something is not visible, right, then also object exists, right? So these was the right stages of object permanence. So as I mentioned, there are 6 stages, right? And in different stages, you can find different kind of development in children. First was reflexive activity. Second, self-investigation. Third, coordination and reaching out. Fourth, goal-directed behavior. Fifth, experimentation. And sixth, problem solving and mental combination. So, as I mentioned in the beginning, I will show you a question that I found in an entrance examination, right, from this particular topic. So the question is at your screen. At which stage child start searching hidden object as an early sign of object permanence? Option A, secondary circular reactions. Option B, coordination of secondary circular reactions. Option C, tertiary circular reaction. Option D, problem solving and mental combinations. If you don't know the answer, then don't watch this video further. and try to find the correct answer by watching this video again, right? I know you are guessing right? Correct answer is coordination of secondary circular reaction. As I mentioned earlier, in this stage, infant start trying to reach for an hidden object, right? And this particular behavior indicating that they have presenting early phase of object permanence. This will be the indicator of early phase of object permanence, right? I hope that like the previous video, you must have learned something in this video too. And I'm going to end this video with the hope that your love and dedication for psychology remain the same forever. Bye.